and that's of course what it's all about, student athletes. So that's why Carrie has the extra smile on her face. We also want to mention Mike Eaton. When you talk about football here at ICC, he's the winningest all-time coach. He's for so long was our senior vice president, but now he's a special assistant, right-hand man to our president, Dr. Cole. So we appreciate Mike you being here today. All right, let's talk a little football, shall we? I'm going to ask our head football coach, Jeff Terrell, who's in his 8th season here, to come up and kind of give a little overview. And then we're going to introduce our offensive and defensive coordinators. They'll give you a little bit of a capsule, if you will, on offense and defense. And then we'll bring our student athletes in for some one-on-one opportunities. Coach Terrell?
I was sitting here thinking, you know, after Dr. Cole was talking about fitness, and I just got through eating that ice cream. And I don't know about y'all, my plate is clean. So I was trying to think, could I do this from sitting behind the table? And then we start talking about Coach Ball, of course, and we've got the adjunct is lovely. I was kind of nervous about what Will can make up about me.
You want to go there with that story? We don't want to angle.
I guess 8 years is a great blessing for any football coach at one place. And we do appreciate y'all all being here, and we certainly appreciate the support that our administrators give us from Coach Ball and Mr. Eaton and Dr. Cole. All of you do so much to make this a pleasant experience for our coaches, our coaching staff, and our players. Of course, now it's time to play ball, and that's what we're excited about. We probably bought in about mid-70s, was in the 2nd term in summer school, started working even before the 4th of July of lifting and running. We've been in training camp since about the 3rd, 4th of August with 2-a-days. It seems like the older I get, they seem more like 3 and 4 days, but I don't think we got out there but twice. But each step has been very good. We were pleased with the summer. We've been pleased with our camp. The young men have worked hard, so we're excited about the positioning there. You get about this time of year, and you know, Mr. Eaton was a tremendous coach, and I know he keeps an eye on all aspects, but you could probably ask him right now about what do you think's happening about this week before the game, and he'd probably smile and say, it's usually pretty tough that week. You usually got folks beat up, bummed up, tired of practicing, they want to play. So it's that tough week that we're trying to get through with that. We've got some injuries, but most of them, they're going to be well and ready for the first game. When I look just as an overview of the season, when you step back and look at last year, which certainly is not acceptable to me or any of us here, we wanted to address the speed of the skilled athletes on the field. And we think our coaches did a great job of recruiting some speed in the skilled positions. When we scrimmaged Colin a week ago, I was very pleased with quarterback play, which I'll let Jeff address. I was pleased with the wideouts and the way they ran and caught the ball. And what I was really pleased with, we got several we're really excited about. But as I was walking back and forth, there was a lot of different guys catching balls, and I like that. Offensive line seemed to be off to a great start. You know, we'd like to see us run the ball a little more efficiently than what we did the other day, but I think that'll improve with time. We were real pleased. We had a real good kicking game session. We're real pleased with where we are there. You know, as far as the kicking and the punting, we were lucky, and I'll step sideways here a little bit with the transfer of Brett Jeffcoat that is a quarterback, but he also brought another place kicker and punter in at the same time, so that helped us an awful lot. So we feel real good about our kicking game compared to last year, which was it was a tough situation in the kicking part that hurt us an awful lot. Defensively, we were not as pleased. We only have 3 starters coming back. I was pleased with the effort. I thought we played better the longer that we played, but I think as we reviewed what we saw, a lot of things are fixable things. You know, all the times you walk out there and you talk about defensive football, we all watch football and we say offense runs a play and they draw up a play and everybody says they got to go here. But see, defense is played the same way. You take 11 guys in the nature of this game today and you just say run the ball. If they all just turn and run to the ball, the offense is going to fake here and go back here. You've got to learn, they've got to learn to fit together. You know, one hat's outside, one's inside, one's over the top, one's digging underneath. And a lot of struggles we had last week was those fits, somebody getting out of position. Had a hat there, could have made the play. And I think those things will be addressed, and we'll be a very competitive defensive football team too. we're excited. I know each is going to speak, but I'd always like to brag on our coaches. I think they're tremendous. Jeff Carter's leading our offense. Now, we like to have a little fun too. So I will tell you, last year was a little tougher for us on offense. We struck out a little bit in some areas. We go out there to practice in the spring, and we bring in this wide out we think is pretty good. And we're out there scrimmaging. Boy, they plate fake us, and they throw a bomb over the top, you know, and they score. And I look around, the first time in my life, I saw defensive coaches celebrating too. They were glad to see we could get it done. We kind of joked when Jeff came, he does an excellent job. He really energized our program. I'm going to be honest with you, did a great job and had this little swagger about him, you know, that I like. We see him walking around with a swagger again, so we're going to put a little pressure on him. Our offense will be excited today. Coach Jackson will be serving as our defensive coordinator. Certainly will do a great job, has great experience playing in the SEC. Of course, we've all worked together for some time now, and just does a great job. Now, some of these defensive linemen, you know, my daddy always taught me you're not going to win the Kentucky Derby with a donkey. I mean, you got to have some talent. I'm going to tell you what, he's produced some defensive linemen when you look around. That bunch we had last year, I mean, of our front four, 3 signed Division I, 1 SEC, and then the other kid is committed to Florida State. So he does a tremendous job and will continue to do that. John Williams, our offensive line coach, is just does a super job as I've talked about the other coaches. And of course, he's the one that really walks around with his chest stuck out. We're going to put the pressure on him too, Coach Fox, because he's got the preseason All-American, Dr. Cole. Big 6'6" kid that we're proud of. Now, he went out and found that kid on his own. This is a kid that flew below the radar. I'm awful proud of the young man and the effort Coach Williams did too. And I even tell the truth that in some of those meetings, Coach Eaton and I would sit there and watch that kid. You know, we kind of questioned you a little bit, didn't we, John? So, fine young man too, Dr. Cole. You'll be glad seeing. You can't miss him because he's one of the biggest ones. But he handles himself with some class. So, does a tremendous job. And Coach Fox, of course, works with our linebackers. Does a great job. Does a lot of keeping these young men playing well on the field, but keeping it between the lines as far as on this campus, which, you know, you've got to always keep nurturing and keeping those guys going. So we're excited about the season. Do I need to ask for any questions right now? Or
if anybody has any questions, Coach Terry,
he'll be
available afterwards for a one-on-one for anybody that needs them.